Welcome back to Sailor Moon Anime Review. This is part 3. In this one, I'm reviewing currently the last known season to air for Sailor Moon Crystal. And I'll give my final thoughts on the series overall for now, because the series, as far as I can tell, is releasing a 2-part film next year to adapt the second to last arc of the series. The arc where they fight the Dead Moon Circus. Yep. Right? I think it's called the Dark Moon Circus. I think it is, yes. But this one is called Death Blasters, adapting the Infinity arc, which is actually 12 chapters long, but basically they adapted it to 13 episodes. How did they do this? Quite simple, really. They took the first chapter and split into 2 episodes. Yeah, that's literally what they did. And also, there is 2 ways, basically, now with this particular season, that yes, this is set in modern day, not in the 90s, like basically when the thing first came out. You know how? Well, they have cell phones. Finally, you have to see cell phones in the series. And 2, in the last episode, you see a couple times, you see a tablet. Yes, a tablet. Yep. Yep. And with this particular season, we get 3 new Sailor Guardians, plus a new villain. Yep. Villain group, I should say. The 3 new Sailor Guardians are Sailor Neptune, Sailor Uranus, I like to call Uranus, but they call it Uranus, I guess it's a little more appropriate name than Uranus, and Sailor Saturn, which, prior to reading the manga, I never even knew there even was a Sailor Saturn, because I knew about Neptune and Uranus because of watching some episodes of the original anime series. I knew nothing about Sailor Saturn at all. And, wow. Oh yeah, and the villain group is called the Death Blasters. Interesting name. Quite original. And their boss is an alien. I'm not kidding. Basically, we're a series where you have a group of 5 teenage girls basically using magic to fight monsters, fights an alien. I am not kidding. From the Tau star system. That is literally where this thing comes from. And also, Sailor Pluto was alive. Yep, despite the fact she apparently died at the end of despite the fact she apparently died during the previous arc of the series, but she's magically back. Yep. She is back, alright. And plus also, and I thought this was really cool on the part of the animators to do this, is that they actually do something quite original. Not exactly original, basically. This is from the manga itself, is that Sailor Moon and Sailor Moon become Super Sailor Moon and Super Sailor Chibi Moon, which, hey, that's actually really great. Yep. And the updated attire, and I have it basically here, basically where the new look is simply is that her skirt basically comes like multicolored. Looks like she has a new brooch on her belt, and she's got like sleeves with her attire now. Yeah. Mini Moon is somewhat like this as well. Yep. Now, as for the 3 new characters, let's start with Sailor Uranus. Yep. She, of course, in the Viz Media dub, is voiced by Erica Mendinez. Yep, Erica Mendinez. And she's known for doing the dub voice for Gon Francis from Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, so we have a few people from Hunter x Hunter doing the dub voice for this series, which I appreciate. I appreciate Viz Media for doing that. Especially, I really enjoy Gon's dub voice. And this is actually the second series I've seen her do. And of course, I have Sailor Neptune. I will get a chance to talk about their relationship. She's voiced by Lauren Landa. Yep, Lauren Landa. Who, well, yeah, she voiced the character in Dead or Alive, but in Hunter x Hunter, which is another series I have watched, she voices one of the Zodiacs, Kylo Zodak. I think it's It's not Kulev per se. I think it's the older brother. One looks like he's really weird and had basically pins in his face. Yeah, I think it's that one. Yeah, it's quite weird whenever you see that. And finally, Sailor Saturn, who most time is a little girl, but does briefly become Sailor Saturn toward the very end. She's voiced in the Viz Media by Christine Mary Carbonos. Yep, that's who she's voiced in the Viz Media dub. Aside from this series, I have not seen her. Well, she did her Pokemon Origins, but that's the only thing I've seen her in, because I watch Pokemon Origins. And yeah, apparently she's the god of destruction. Yeah, and she is the last of the Sailor Scouts so I basically introduced. Well, Sailor's Guardians, though I heard in the original one they call Sailor Scouts. But what about the Death Blasters? Well, the people who do the voice of Pastor Tommy, basically, who's kind of the secondary antagonist of the series, this arc, he's voiced by Keith Stevenson, Silverstein. Yeah, he did a character from Bleach. Well, there's many characters, but as for this one, aside from, well, Bleach, he also did a Digimon Fusion. I haven't watched that yet, but aside from Bleach, I haven't. Well, he did also do Naruto Shippuden. So this is kind of like the fourth series I've seen this guy in. Yeah, Hollywood basically, who's kind of like the main female antagonist. She's voiced by Tara Platt. Yep, Tara Platt. And, well, she's been a Hawaii Five-0. But, let's see. For anime-wise, well, of stuff I've seen, she was known for voicing Tamari from Naruto, and she basically was on Bleach. I think she was the... Yeah, she's actually the main dub voice actor for her. So this is actually the third series I've seen her on. So, yeah, actually fourth, because, well, she was on Bleach. Mistress Now, which was an alternate form. Basically, yeah, she's both the same person who voices Sailor Saturn. Master Pharaoh 90, who is he's voiced by Michael Scarach, and of the stuff he's been in, I've seen roughly one series, and that's Bleach. Oh yeah, he was also in Naruto Shippuden. He voices Choji's father. Yep. And plus is what he was in Digimon. So a few series. Which is voiced by, you have Udo, voiced by Aaron Fitzgerald. Matsumi, voiced by Kara Buckland. Vully, Julie Ann Taylor. Tolu, Laura Post. Carfon Folotti. They're voiced by, in the Viz Media dub, voiced by Dorothy Ellis Flynn. And that's really it for the Death Blasters. Yeah, they're an interesting group of characters. It's something, though, for this particular group of, these group of villains, and they're not from the past, they're not from the future, they're present-day villains, and yeah, so yeah, these are pretty good set of villains. I mean, yeah, a mad scientist being one of the main villains. Well, he's a secondary villain anyways. He's basically a lackey for Master Pharaoh 90, though he became that simply because he wanted to create superhumans, super life forms. Yep, that was his goal, and he was kicked out of the academic community for that's what it was explained in the anime. There's one thing I should talk about before I continue, and that is the lesbian relationship between Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune. Yes, I know all about it, and yes, I've read the manga, but in this particular arc, it's implied, but it's more explicit in the final arc of the series, in Sailor Stars, yes, which is the arc Stars, which basically is the last 11 chapters of the manga. So I already know about this. I think it was really dumb on the original dubbers basically to ignore this, because it's part of the series. You can't just simply ignore it. I mean, at the time probably it was, but nowadays, I don't think that's much of a problem to see people who are not straight in cartoons anymore. I'd say it's become very acceptable in the past 10 years. Yeah, it's become very acceptable. I mean, heck, people implied for years that Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy have been in a lesbian relationship for years. Yeah, because the animators love teaming these two up, so why not? So to me, I don't have a really big problem with this because this was basically in the original manga, and plus also, I like it. The Viz Media basically, for their dubbing for the original series, did restore that, from what I've heard. Of course, I am going to watch that soon, but it's not the next series I'm going to watch. I'll tell at the end of the video exactly what I'm going to watch next. But, yeah, this was overall a really good season, and the way the season started off, it felt like I'd say about 4 or 5 months passed by since the end of the previous one. At least not like in the case of the previous arc, where it picked up like right after they defeated their previous villains. This one, at least some time passed by, and they had the girls are basically just trying to get to high school, which okay, fine. In the end, all of them except for Sailor Mars get a chance to go to the same high school. Apparently, she gets sent to a different high school. Yeah, I don't know why. She just does. Also, when she wears her Shrine Maiden outfit, she looks like Keiko from Inuyasha. I mean, same hair, same face, same outfit. She looks exactly like her. I mean, in color anyways. I couldn't really much tell black and white. I mean, her top is simply all white, and the bottom of her Shrine Maiden outfit is red. Yep. But here's kind of something really weird about the series, I've got to say. And this is probably the fault of basically the fact the series takes place in Tokyo. All the characters are Japanese. Just that. But this is not the first series I've seen set in the real world, because I've seen it in Yu-Gi-Oh!, Yu Yu Hakusho, Bleach, Death Note. I'd say this is probably the 5th series I've seen where it's set in the real world, which, hey, that's actually pretty good, the fact I actually get a chance to see that for an anime series. Let's see. Oh yeah, and there's actually one scene in the series. I'm very happy they kept this in because this happened in the manga. About 3 episodes in, at the end of one episode, Sailor Uranus kisses Sailor Moon on the lips. I am not kidding. She really does this. Yeah, basically implying that Sailor Moon is bisexual. Not kidding. That's simply what the series is implying. And apparently, yeah, it's also later revealed that apparently Sailor Uranus is, well, I don't know how to properly describe this. Apparently she has male and female parts, which, okay. Yeah, they said the same thing in the manga, and they said the same thing here, so I wasn't exactly weirded out here in the watching anime because I already read this in the manga. So I'm happy they kept the line in, but it just seems a bit head scratching to see what looks like a drop dead gorgeous woman who also has male parts. Yeah, it's quite odd. Yeah, I heard for some things it's called a Fedori. That's a common manga term basically for something like this, but thank God they didn't show any, which that would have been kind of dumb for the animators to do, especially since this was to market a show like this for teenagers. Yep. But I'm an adult, but I felt like watching it simply because I read the manga and I had watched some of the anime, so I was somewhat familiar with the characters, but reading the original source material and watching this, I really enjoyed it. What did I like about Sailor Moon? Well, I like the story, and I like the villains are in fact very interesting, and One of the high points I really enjoy about this series is the love story between Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask. Yeah, of course, Tuxedo Mask is one badass of a fighter. Especially, well, even though it's quite odd that his only known move is basically Tuxedo Mask Smoker Bomb, where he can shoot like energy out of his hand. That's the only move he knows. And also in the anime, in this one, he does not use a rose at all as a weapon, like he does in the original series. I have watched some episodes of it, so I like the fact he uses a cane. And one thing I do appreciate for this arc we're doing is that Tuxedo Mask does not get kidnapped or brainwashed this entire arc. Which, hey, you at least gotta praise them for doing that. But after doing it for 2 arcs in a row, I guess that the writer was like, okay, we're not doing that again. That was kind of dumb to do it 2 arcs in a row. Yep. Excuse me. In case some of you asked, does Tuxedo Mask get kidnapped and brainwashed in the last 2 arcs? As far as I know, no. He does not. That does not happen to him at all. It just happens to him in the first 2 arcs. This arc it did not happen. And as far as I know, in the last 2 arcs, this did not happen either. So you can just relax about that part. Yep. What else? It's interesting though that this is actually the first series that when you watch it, for the first arc, this is the first time you see an arc where people actually are watching the Sailor Guardians actually do any fighting. Because it seems like there's a lot of the fighting in the shadows. It seems like nobody knows about the stuff going on. And this is the first time it's like, okay, people are watching the Sailor Moon, the Sailor Guardians basically kicking butt. Yep. And this is actually the first time I've actually seen it where in the anime they actually refer to Sailor Moon, refer to herself as the Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. Yep. But let's see, anything else? I really enjoy the fact that Chi-Moon basically imitates her own mother in her stance and basically saying the same exact lines. Yep. Also, at the end of it, basically all the Sailor Guardians, well, who are not Sailor Moon, Sailor Chi-Moon, get updated costumes. So their outfits didn't really change that much appearance-wise. It seems like their pendants change around their neck. Of course, their brooches change the hearts, obviously. I mean, it's not just the main 4 who hang out with Sailor Moon a lot, but also Sailor Pluto, Sailor Uranus, and Sailor Neptune. They also get updates as well. Basically, all of them do. And the thing about Sailor Saturn is she doesn't appear that much. Even in the manga, she doesn't appear that much. I mean, aside from a flashback, I mean, she only appears in this series for roughly 2 episodes, and she does show up for, I think, at least 1 chapter of the final arc of the series, which is Stars. So she does come back, but it takes a couple arcs for it to happen. Yep. And one thing I really enjoyed about Sailor Pluto is that she does remember her memories from the future, so at least she recognized as Sailor Chi-Moon. Yep, I do appreciate them doing that. And despite the fact Sailor Saturn sort of basically sacrificed her, but she's reborn as a baby, but somehow she's able to keep her name and memories. Okay, that's a little odd, but I guess that's the way it is. And you have these 3 gorgeous women raising a little girl. Okay, fine. Especially since 2 of them are actually celebrities. Yeah, Sailor Uranus is basically, in her secret identity, she is a race car driver. Yep, she's a race car driver. And as for Sailor Neptune, she is a violinist, a very successful one. Though there's some images I've seen basically of her playing the cello, but she's very good at playing the violin. As a matter of fact, aside from the performance that she does for 1 episode, she's seen playing the violin at least 2 or 3 other times, and she's very good at it. Yep, I'm glad the fact the animators kept that in. Let's see, what else? I think that's really it. But for this anime, for the 3 seasons I've seen, it's good. They did change the opening theme for the final season. Yeah, in the first couple seasons, it was, I think it was Moonstrike, I think it was. have to look it up here. Let's see. Okay, first one's called Moon Pride. Yeah, that's basically what they used the first 2 seasons of the show. And then the last season's In Love with the New Moon. It seemed more like a very much of a kind of like it had sort of the same musical tones as Twinkle Little Star. Yeah, but this was a good season nonetheless. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'm gonna put this anime review series on hold because I'm gonna start up another anime review series where I'm gonna review Rashu Kenshin because I had just finished reading the manga series. Yeah, I finished reading that series not long after I had just finished up Sailor Moon. Okay, but I'm gonna do that series next. It's only 3 seasons, so hopefully it won't take too long. And then I'll go back to the original anime series for Sailor Moon and get my thoughts on that. Okay, but until I see you in the next video, bye.